Probably in 2 to 3 minutes, we'll have the background and stuff. There's a 15-minute delay, so the round starts on the hour, but it'll be at least 9:15 Eastern before we see any games and so forth. Yeah, today, Dina's opponent is Vlastimil Babula, who's a local player. He lives in the Czech Republic, where the tournament's taking place, and so on. So welcome to the games. This is round 8. Unfortunately, tomorrow, round 9 is 4 hours earlier, so we'll be starting 5 a.m. Eastern. Truth hurts. Yeah, I know a lot of chess players named Vlastimil, and I know some named Babula, but this is the first time I know who's Vlastimil Babula. I think he's 17 years old, and he's a FIDE master, and his rating's 2363. He doesn't seem to be having a good tournament. He's actually been paired down every round. Or was he paired up once and he lost? No, he paired down and he lost. He's actually lost to 2 lower-rated players, and he drew a low-rated player, and he's beaten 4 lower-rated players. So he's not having a great tournament. Hey, everybody. Hey, that's me. That's right. So Karen won't be with us today, but she'll be here in spirit. But she might show up for the 5 a.m. stream. She's more of a 5 a.m. person than I am. Let's see, 9:15. Yeah, so in a minute or two, we should have the background and stuff and such and so forth. I have coffee and water, and I need them both. Hope everybody's having a good Wednesday. Today's Archer's birthday, turns 15. And almost as important, today's my half birthday. My birthday will be in 6 months. I always liked my half birthday. Ever since I was a kid. Ever since I was half. And so forth. Go, Dina, set up that camera. I don't know if her opponent plays e4 or d4. So we'll either likely see a Queen's Gambit or a Caro Kann, depending on what her opponent does on move 1. I guess some people play the London also. We have 3 chats today, as we do every day. It's Ben and Karen's stream, Dina Belenkaya's stream, and also Dina Belenkaya's YouTube channel. You can watch on all 3 or 2 of them or just one. I'm out here on my own, just like Irene Cara. Is that who's saying that? Okay, e4 was played. So Dina's game has started, but no video yet. She'll be setting up the video. So far, both players have made no mistakes. I guess I have to move the chessboard if she's black. So let me do that. Dina will be sitting on the left. To the left. She said, "Sorry, I'm late." Truth hurts. I'm well. How are you all doing? Did you see Andrea's swindle yesterday? Yes, and we showed it on stream too. All right, the dogs are in rare form. Who let the dogs out? Doesn't the competition take place at the hotel? How come one of them is always late? The truth hurts. Is there a chess.com link? There is. There's the link. He sees a red board and he wants it painted black. No colors anymore, I want them to turn black. I see people play the Carol Con, never look back. You don't have a good score in the tournament if you always have black. Yeah, the Rolling Stones, they love chess. The dental appointment, the tooth hurts. Yeah, that was fine. The worst part about the dental appointment was the traffic coming home. Alex lost yesterday, but I don't know what her opponent's age was. There's a stampede upstairs. Dina's in Zugzwang. She can't move. I guess I'll go up and get more coffee. And then when I come back, the video will be set up, I hope. No, it's still not here. I don't get up that early. I usually get up about 8. Karen gets up at 6:30, and she has to take Archer to school. She likes getting up early. She's a morning person, and I'm not any kind of person. You can call me a person. Hey, once again, Dina's opponent looks tall. Looks like Julian. She's playing Julian? Yeah. How come it looks like Dina has the Adidas tracksuit jacket? His rating is in the title of the stream, 2363. Yeah, that guy looks like Julian. She's jujubing the pieces. Then she'll play c6. Most younger players play the advanced variation, I think. So I predict e5, even though I have no idea what he'll play. Yay, that's good commentary. The one game that Dina lost in this tournament, h4, started the same way. This is the game she lost to the GM in round 2, Barbosa. And he played bishop d3 here. Okay, bishop g5. This looks like a game that Hikaru won with black against Nepomniachtchi, Vaikanze 2010 or 11. I don't know if this was the move order, but it looks like it. I could be wrong. Is the fantasy variation a preferred line among GMs? No, it is definitely not preferred. All right, let's see here what they're saying on YouTube. Alien Gambit today. Not sure what that means. The dogs are fans of Dina. Ben Chat is in Twitch. This is not the French. It's French for uncool people. Dina in time trouble already. I'm from the future. Man, if people went to the future and came back, there'd be a lot of sports betting. Okay, so I don't know this line, so let's go back. Queen b6, bishop d3, queen takes d4, double X-clam. But this is just prep. So if bishop takes bishop, we have queen takes pawn check, and we get our bishop back. Plus we're up 2 pawns. Okay, so he didn't do that. Let's see. They're playing some paired line they both know, which I've never seen. So then knight f3, queen g4 is forced, defending the bishop. Bishop takes, queen takes, castles. So white sacrifices a pawn and forces black to move her queen 50 times, and black has no development. So it's a pawn sacrifice. And she's thinking here, the engine says f6 or e6. I've never seen this pawn sacrifice, but it looks like both players have. Morrow played this game twice as white and won both games. Yeah, white has compensation for a pawn. She played e6, not sure if she's still in her prep or not. And he played c4, so he's in his prep. c4 is explosive. He played c4 very quickly. Babula is 2363. e6 isn't bad. The engine preferred f6, but never play f6. Yeah, her opponent's a FIDE master. He's 17 years old, and he's 2363 FIDE. But I have a question for the chat. Usually the chat asks me questions, and then I give a snarky answer. But my question is, why is Dina's board so nice, and everybody else's board sort of sucks? Did she bring that board with her? I mean, what's going on here? The answer is fries. It looks more likely the candidates will be in Toronto than it did a few days ago, since they just issued a lot of visas. It would be weird to issue visas to 30 people and then not issue visas to other people so the tournament can't take place. That'd be a strange behavior, but you never know. Red flag chess with a great answer. The origin of fries is Simpsons joke from 30 years ago. Bart wants to buy a video game, and the game costs like $70, $80, and he has like $1. And the guy says to him, he says, well, you can afford this McDonald's coloring book thing. And he says, the puzzle has already been solved. The answer is fries. Go comic book store guy. So Dina might be out of her prep. One thing you don't want to do is black plays DC and then white plays queen D8 checkmate. I don't know what she should do, but I know what she shouldn't do. That's one of my 10 favorite lines from the Jeffersons. Louise is is it Louise or George? One of them's talking to Mother Jefferson, and they're talking about this person, and Mother Jefferson says, that person died. And then the other person said, are you sure? And Mother Jefferson said, I may not know who's alive, but I know who's dead. Go Mother Jefferson. I never understood Mother Jefferson. I've never heard a grandparent called Mother and then the last name. Nobody ever called my mom Mother Finegold. That's, what? You thought it was an old Southern thing? But they're from New York. Yeah, Karen called her dad Daddy, and we refer to him as Daddy. And it seemed very Southern when she said it, because she had a Southern accent. I'm from Delaware. Some old people call their grandmother's mother. Yeah, but I mean, if you're the old person, that is your mother. I'm in the South. Go Ben. It's funny, the two cities I never went to for chess that are big in the US are Denver and Atlanta. And then I end up living in Atlanta. I've still never been to Denver. I've never driven through Denver, nothing. On the other hand, I think San Antonio is bigger than Denver, and I haven't been to San Antonio ever, but I've been to Dallas and Houston. Can't go to all the big cities in Texas. There's too many. I've been to San Diego, San Francisco, Sacramento, and Los Angeles. So I've been to most of the big cities in California. And I've been to Seattle, Portland, Oregon. So I took care of the West Coast. Dina opponent only looks young. I think he's 17. Yeah, I don't think I've been to the Denver airport. Yeah, Atlanta, I was only in once before I moved here and was dating Karen and coming here. We drove through more than once to go to Florida from Michigan. So when I was a little kid, we drove through Atlanta to go to Florida, but I mean, we never stopped. Atlanta's very strange because the city limits, there's like 500,000 people, and the metropolitan population is 5 million people. They took up a lot of suburbs and land and said that's part of Atlanta metropolitan area. Detroit is similar. Detroit has like 2 million in the metro area, but in the city of Detroit itself is like 400,000. Detroit in the 1950s had 2 million people. Detroit was the fourth largest city in the US. Then everybody left. Truth hurts. Denver airport is spooky. What? So it's possible Dina doesn't know c4, or it's possible she doesn't know any move. e6 is the end of her prep. It's also possible she didn't know e6, but probably she did because she played it relatively quickly. Her opponent obviously is still in prep. Yeah, actually, I'm going to go to ChessBase now and see if this position's been played, and I'll give you guys some information. Come on, chess base. I just told them stuff, and you're not booting up. Shake, 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 shake your booting up. Let's see, board. Okay, e4, c6. Kids today knowing so much theory. Okay, I'll look at it before castles. Okay, so castles in this position castles is 32 games. I'm sorry, castles is 55 games, and c4 is 36 games. And castles scores better and is played more often. So that's the main move. Okay, let's see what ChessBase says. It says e6 was played 24 times, f6 was played 18 times, and f6 scores a lot better. F6 scores way better than e6, but e6 is more common. Let's see, what do the good players do? Nizhnik played knight d7, Lequang played e6, Howell played e6, Svane played f6, or Svein, or whatever his name is. So this guy, Svane, I think he has a brother too. Svane, he's had black in this position 3 times, and he won all 3 games, and he played f6 in this position. But e6 is more common. And then c4 is the only move. Everybody plays c4. Okay, so this position in my database has about 30 games. And let's see. Black has played bishop e7, knight d7, and knight e7. Those are the 3 most common moves. Knight d7 has been played 12 times. Bishop e7 has been played 10 times. Let's see. Morozevich beat a 2400 in 2019. I mean, Morozevich is going to beat a 2400. So, but yeah, when black's higher rated, black has been winning with bishop e7 and knight d7. And the engine says knight a6 is a move, but nobody's ever played knight a6. Knight a6 is a strange move. All right, so I'll keep ChessBase open and see when the first novelty is. But we still have a lot of games in this position in my database. I think the rocker guy did win the last round. One of the people in the chat investigated and think he's a Ukrainian GM who was born in 1964 or 63. We have sleuths in the chat. Yeah, Dina has 3 wins, 3 draws, and 1 loss. She lost to the highest rated player she played, Grandmaster from South America. I think from Brazil. And otherwise, Dina's been playing great. She played okay that game, but that guy played like a genius. That guy made 3 excellent moves in positions where it called for it. I've already used that game in several lessons because it's very instructive how white played. It was also in this opening, but he played bishop d3 immediately, and this guy played bishop g5. What's Cameo saying? Oh, Cameo says word up. Anybody? No? All right. Review 5 stars. Good, good. I made a Cameo without my glasses on because I didn't know my glasses weren't on. Truth hurts. Oh, I have a request? Love the first video. He's up 200 ELO since the first video I made. What? I made a cameo video and the guy gained 200 rating points because of it? Okay. I think it was a pep talk. Yeah. I gave him a pep talk, so he gained 200 rating points. Good, good. From Ben Finegold. Yeah, he almost spelled my name right. I didn't think a pep talk could get me so many rating points. Okay, she played Bishop C5. This has actually been played before. Let me have a look. Bishop C5 was played twice. And white won one game and black won the other game. I'm sorry. White won one game. The other game was a draw. The draw was a 2,500 versus a 2,480. And white won when he was 2,200 against a 2,400. Okay, in one game, white played queen b3. And in the other game, white played c takes d5. Let's see what the good engine says. The good engine says c takes d5 and queen b3 are about the same, and it likes white. It even says b4 is a move, so bishop c5 isn't the best move. Now it says white has a nice advantage. But, you know, the onus is on white to prove he has compensation for a pawn. If Dina can get developed and castled, she's just a pawn up. So white has to play very energetically. He doesn't know bishop c5 because bishop c5 has only been played twice. He probably knows bishop e7 and knight d7 because those have been played more frequently. Wait, how's the guy doing that with his hands? And then I can't do that, what he's doing. I can do this, but I can't put my elbows on the table. Yeah, I can't do that. Very flexible. Can you guys easily do that? Put your hands interlocked behind your neck and then put the elbows on the table? Actually, I could do it if I leaned forward enough and crushed the computer. Although I probably couldn't. Babies are flexible. Yeah. When Larry Christensen's playing, he often takes his arms and puts them behind his chair, like touching each other all the way back. Stretching while he's playing. Well, her opponent's hands were behind his head, but he moved them. It was too hard. So engine says he should take and then play queen b3, or play queen b3 right away. And as an alternative, b4 is also an interesting move. I wouldn't play b4 because then after bishop e7, I don't know why I play b4. If they take, I know why. Then queen b3 and we have a skewer. But yeah, queen b3 and takes and queen b3 both seem good. But he's out of his prep now. He doesn't know bishop c5. This is what I'm more used to. Dina's away from the board and her opponent's thinking forever. I miss the guy who rocks in his chair like this. Bring that guy back. Tomorrow, the last round is 4 hours earlier than the previous rounds. So Eastern time, 5 a.m. Pacific time in the U.S., 2 a.m. God damn. And I'll be here doing commentary at 5 a.m. and Karen will probably join me. She's a morning person. I mean, that's early for Karen, but I wouldn't be surprised if she wakes up. She said she would. So there's a fancy vegan restaurant in Atlanta called Vlastimil, Semilla. And it's about a 25-30 minute drive for us with no traffic. With traffic, it's further. And we're going to go there tonight. We have reservations at 7 o'clock. And we've never been there. It's 100% vegan, and it's Latin style. So have Latin American food and all vegan. The whole restaurant's vegan. Go restaurant. What's funny is my friend in Michigan told me about it. He read about it, and I'd never heard of it. And then, I saw it won some national awards. So. I'll eat like a Grandmaster. No, I think it's Semilla. I think that's the name of the restaurant. La Semilla. La Semilla? I feel bad for her opponent because when you're 17 and you're an FM and you're 2363 and you're playing in a strong international open, you have two goals: get an IM norm or get a GM norm. And so you want to play Grandmasters and IMs because you want to get better at chess and you want to do well. And he's been pared down all 8 rounds. And he's not gaining rating points. He's losing rating points. So that's really unsuccessful tournament. You play an international tournament with lots of GMs and IMs, and you don't play any of them. I mean, it's unfortunate. In round 2, he lost to a 2000. If he had won round 2, probably would have been paired up in round 3 and started playing good players. Dina's played several players that are 2300 and above. Andrea playing a guy who doesn't want to be on camera. I thought in the Botez streams, although I could be wrong, they just showed the Botez sisters that you couldn't see their opponents. Am I wrong? Can you see everybody? Yeah, Andrea's having a great tournament. Let's see what the YouTube chat is saying. 5 a.m. isn't morning, it's late evening. Who is winning? Nobody's ever winning. It's chess. Game started an hour ago. You can see everybody. You can see Alex's opponent, but not Andrea's. Oh, so Andrea's opponent didn't want to be on camera. Or something else happened. Let's see. Ben said she's single. I've never said anybody was single. Is Belenkaya married? She is not married. I said, I know whether she is single or not, but that's none of your business. If she wants to say whether she's single or not, she will tell you. It's not for me to decide. As a Grandmaster, I know these things, but I can't say. All right, good chat on YouTube. They're using Andrea's camera to view Alex because her camera was not working. Okay, so somebody said maybe Andrea's opponent doesn't want to be seen on the video, and then somebody said Andrea's camera is not working, so that's why. So I don't know. I'm not sure why things are different today. Wait, I'm confused. I thought she had this red Adidas style jacket, Dina, and now she has another one. Maybe that was one of the Botez sisters and she took it. Then she gave it back. How did Dina's queen get to f5? Good question. They played this line in the Carol Khan, and the theory that I know ends here. I don't know what people are supposed to do here. And it went bishop d3, queen takes. And the idea is if bishop takes bishop, queen takes pawn check, wins the bishop back. And this is all prepped by both players. And then here Dina thought for quite a long time, and she played a move that is not very popular and the engines don't like. The engine says knight d7 or bishop e7. That's been played in some Grandmaster games, but she played bishop c5. Her opponent doesn't know that because he's thinking forever. And while I was discussing that, he moved. The engine wanted to take or play queen b3, but he played knight c3, developing a piece. This isn't very threatening, so this gives Dina time to develop knight e7, knight d7, and eventually, if white doesn't do something super aggressive, black's a pawn up. If black gets to catch up in development with knight e7, knight d7 castles, then black's a pawn up. So the engine doesn't like knight c3 because it's not very incisive. Queen b3 has a serious threat on the b7 pawn. So this gives black a tempo to get one of her knights out. And she can move either knight out, knight e7 or knight d7, and the engine says that she's okay. Wait, how many drinks is she bringing? Oh, and she is wearing the red thing, and she has her other jacket on the... 2 jackets, what else? And 2 coffees, what else? I'm assuming they're both not coffee, that they're 2 separate drinks. I guess Andrea won yesterday, so Dina wanted to wear similar attire. Good luck. Can you rotate the board? I can, but I won't. I did rotate the board so that black is on the bottom because we're following black. Go, Dina. That's good. Dina's jacket matches the board. And my microphone. If Dina wins, does she has a chance to go prized? Maybe. Interesting camera angle. The IM title is slightly more difficult to get than WGM title, but the WGM title is much harder to get if you're male. Much harder. So it's easier to get WGM title than IM title. FM and WIM are very similar. I would say it's slightly harder to get FM than WIM, but it's close. And it's different. FM, there's no norms. You just get a rating. WIM, there's norms. So WGM is similar to IM and FM is similar to WIM. But in this instance, he's an FM and he's higher rated than Dina. But with somebody his rating and his age, you would expect he has IM norms. I don't know if he has IM norms, but you would expect that. And he probably was trying to get an IM norm this tournament, but he didn't play anybody higher rated than him, so he can't. He didn't play any IMs. So, okay, I think she played 97. That's the best move. Yeah, now it says white's advantage is minimal. Okay, let me see if anybody's played. Nobody's played knight c3 in my database. That's the first novelty of the game, was his last move. And then let's see what the good engine says. It's like the good place. Let's see. It says knight e7 and it's about equal. That's what she played. Yeah, it wants white to play b4. b4 is the engine move. It says after b4, white is still slightly better. But if white doesn't play d4, it says white is not better. Yeah, the idea is after bishop takes, we have the open b file and we can start attacking. b4 is a tough move to play because you're already down a pawn and you're sacrificing a second one, but the engine plays bishop b6. It thinks this is bad to let white get all this play over here. Makes sense. See, where am I? There I am. Wait, no, that's not right. That's right. What's his compensation? Well, black's king's on e8. Black's queenside pieces aren't developed. Black's queen's on f5, which is... I don't like the queen on f5. It can get harassed. It can get trapped. b7 is weak. So white has compensation for a pawn. But again, if white doesn't press forward aggressively and just plays solid moves, and black plays solid moves, and black's a pawn up, white has to prove that they have compensation for a pawn. Knight c3 wasn't a good start. Queen b3 or c takes d5 would have been, as I said earlier, more incisive. Dina's got 2 drinks, 1 for each of you. Man, Dina has a lot of stuff, and she's taking off with it. Dina getting the best angle on her latte. Well, the engine doesn't like knight c3. It wants to play queen b3 or c takes d5 and then queen b3, putting immediate pressure on black's position. But he played knight c3 and she played knight e7 and the game goes on. We can try to get a message to the board behind Dina, next to Dina, and ask if one of the players can start rocking. This is very interesting what I just saw. 2 boards from Dina. The clock's on the right of the player with black. He moved with his left hand He hit the clock with his left hand. Then with his left hand, he kept score on the right side of the board where the clock is. I've never seen anybody who's left-handed put their score on the right and then right with their left hand crossing their body. Usually those score sheets here, and they just, So that guy's different. That guy thinks on his own. No, he's definitely left-handed, but his score sheet's on his right. That I haven't seen, and then cross over and keep score. What are the rules to get FM, IM, and GM? That would take the whole stream to explain. I'll give you the cliff notes. You need to play in a tournament that has at least 9 rounds. The tournament has to be FIDE rated. You have to play players from 3 or 4 different countries at least. And you have to score, for IM norm, a 2400 performance, or 2450, I forgot. I think it's 2400. And for GM, a 2600 performance. And you have to play a certain number of title players, IMs and GMs. It's actually very complicated. It's hard to explain to people who play chess all the time. They make it complicated so nobody can figure it out. But yeah, if you're 2363 FIDE and you're paired down every round, you're not getting a norm. You have to be paired up, I would say, at least half the time. And you have to get a lot of points, like 7 out of 9. 6.5 out of 9. Depends on who you're playing. There's a FIDE handbook, and it discusses all of this over several pages. What the requirements are. One time in the Canadian Open in Winnipeg, I had played a lot of strong players, and I had a good score, and I was wondering if I could get a GM norm. So I went to the arbiters and I said, am I close to a GM norm? And their response was, what's a GM norm? And the truth hurts. I played like 4 GMs that tournament. I drew Pedersen from Iceland. I beat Hodgson, and I lost to Tukmakov. I think I played somebody else higher rated. And I had a good score. I had, 6.5 out of 8 or something. Yeah, I didn't get a GM norm there because they didn't know what that was. What do you need to achieve to get a norm? There's a lot of things you have to get, but the main idea is you have a 2600 FIDE performance rating or higher. Plus, you need Kramnik's blessing. That's correct. Can Dina still win the tournament? No. The person who wins the tournament will likely get 7.5 out of 9. That's the usual winning score for a tournament like this. Occasionally, someone has a great tournament and gets 8 out of 9. And also occasionally, there's a big tie at 7 out of 9, like 6-7 way tie. But typically, 7.5 does it. If Dina wins this game and the next game, she'll get 6.5. So she could win a class prize if they have like an under 2200 prize. 6.5 will probably get it. I'm just hoping Dina gets paired up in the last round because I want Dina to play strong players. You don't travel all over the world to play 2,000 players. You're trying to play Grandmasters and IMs and such. Yeah, I'm not accepting new students at the moment. I have enough students. $100 an hour. What am I, homeless? Truth hurts. More like $100 a minute. Oh, snap. One of the guys who's on my stream a lot, who I've given private lessons to in the past, he got a 1 hour lesson from Kasparov. And I know how much it cost. Truth hurts. Charges more than I do for some reason. Go Dina. Dina's catching up on time. The time that she missed when the game started. They'll have equal time soon. This guy's not moving quickly. Who's the stronger GM you paid for your training? I had the Sanford Fellowship in 1994, and I got coaching from Gregory Kaidanov. Hammer is open about his rate, $250 an hour. Did Karen win the big poker tournament yet? Not yet. A 4-hour class with Hammer is like buying an iPhone. Truth hurts. And the iPhone is better at chess. That's funny. Hammer charges more than the Botez sister. I don't think Botez sisters give private lessons. I think they're busy. Is it mandatory to be trained by a GM to be a GM? Nothing is mandatory. Doesn't hurt. Now Queen B3. Another move the engine's not too proud of. Now it says black can play b6 or knight d7, sacrificing their b pawn. I assume she'll play b6. Problem with bishop b6 is c5. The bishop's forced to move and then white's winning. So I think she'll play b6. For some reason, this engine, after b6, after bishop takes, plays king takes. So one of the ideas white has is to take on d5 3 times, attacking the rook in the corner. So for example, if we take with the bishop, white could try to do this, and the rook in the corner is trapped. And the engine says white's winning. And white starts off with bishop takes e7 because the knight's defending d5. And in this position, the engine says bishop takes e7 is a big mistake. King takes e7 exclamation mark. And the idea is if you play the same piece sacrifice, then I can move my knight on to d7 and my rook defends the other rook. And this position, it says, is slightly better for black. Black's a piece up, but her king is on e7, so a little suspicious. But again, black has to prove, or white has to prove the compensation. White can try b4, and the idea is if you take it, I have knight d4 attacking the queen, and knight c6 check, getting my piece back. And this is slightly better for white. The engine gives this variation. Oh no, that hangs the rook. I'm sorry. Knight takes, rook e8. And I would think white has a great position here because white's a pawn up, but it only says like 0.7. And it says knight a6 is the only good move. Knight a6, the move I would never consider. That's the only good move. Now it says f4 is okay. So something like this could happen. I doubt it, but it could happen. And that's if Dina plays b6. And Dina did play b6. So now it says bishop takes e7 is forced. Now let me go to the good engine. Queen b3. Better than the chess.com engine. My secret illegal engine. Okay, b6 is good. And yeah, the best move is bishop takes e7. The second best move is c takes d5. Now it says rook d1 is okay. And it just says black is a tiny bit better, but it's super complicated. Yeah, the main line for the strong engine is what I was saying. Or not bishop takes, king takes. And then in this position, it says rook a d8. And the idea is if you take it, then I play knight c5. And the engine actually prefers black here, even though black's king is on e7. Because, you know, these pieces are all great. My king can go to safety. My rook could get out this way if I want to. Or I could play rook e8, king f8. And this structure is better for black because white's majority is useless. And black has great control of the center, total domination of the center. This knight could go to f4 via e6. So in this position, black is slightly better. Black can play rook d3 and double rooks. The king's not really exposed. White can't get at the king. Now, if this pawn on e5 disappears, if it wasn't there, okay, then black's king is pretty exposed. But this pawn sort of provides shelter for black. And what's funny is if Dina plays bishop takes e7, not seeing the piece sacrifice, then it says she's in a lot of trouble. It says this is really good for white. Yeah, it just says white's winning. So if he does play bishop takes e7, she has to find king takes. Not easy. But he might play a boring move like rook a d1. And she's basically caught up on time now. Both players are taking a lot of time for their moves, but especially her opponent. But this is very interesting. The d5 pawn, which is defended 3 times, we take the knight, we take the pawn, we take the pawn, we take the pawn, and b6 opens up the diagonal to the rook. And that's why you take with the king, so this rook can defend this rook after knight d7. Take with the bishop, then the rook's a goner. So if he plays bishop takes e7, she has to find king takes e7, or she has a losing position. I'm not saying he's going to find it or that she won't, but he's thinking a long time. He might just play a boring move like rook a d1. Now he might move his queen, something like queen a4, okay, which he just did as I said it, okay. And the idea is you want to play b4, and the bishop on c5 is trapped. And let's see what my good engine says. So black has 2 moves here that are good. f6, attacking the bishop and stopping the bishop from... And then, if you trade on f6, the bishop has the d6 square, so the bishop's not getting trapped. And we open the G line, and black can start attacking. Or black can play a5, and the idea is if b4, we just take it with a bishop. Both of those moves give black an advantage. So basically, after white was out of his prep, he's not playing very well. He hasn't made any good moves. Knight c3, queen b3, queen a4 are all subpar. So now the engine likes black, whether she plays f6 or a5. The other move she can play is d takes c4. then b4 doesn't work because you could take en passant. So black has plenty of moves that give her a reasonable position, but the engine likes f6 and says black is better. So things have turned around this game. White was better after bishop c5, and now black is better. Well, when you're on the events page, the engine that you use only goes up to depth 21. So if I use my engine, it goes up to depth, 1 billion. Also, I could use more CPU engine, but I'm afraid I'm afraid then it would stop the computer from working. Sometimes Stockfish takes over your computer if you use too many CPUs. So the most logical moves are a5 and f6, and they're both good. Just that f6 is better, because then the bishop won't get trapped. And also after ef, gf, black can put the king on f7 and play rook g8, and black has threats on the king side. Those could be devastating threats. And if white doesn't take on f6, black's 2 pawns up has a big center. So the engine says after f6, white should play b4, and then all heck breaks loose. Super complicated, so Dina should be thinking a long time here. Yeah, you can find the standings by going to chess.com, then go to events. It's the binoculars on the left. And one of the events is Prague International Chess Festival. And click on that. Then there's an event tab. I'm on the game tab. There's an event tab. And then it tells you all the pairings. And then under the event tab, there's games, standings, and recent. I don't know what recent means. The standings have the standings. I've never been to the standings, so thanks for asking. So a GM from Greece, I guess. It has to be Greece. He has 6.5 out of 7. He's rated 2556. I can't pronounce any of his names. That's why he's in first. Stamatis Korkulis Arditis. Damn. And then tied for second, Safarli, who I think is the highest rated player. Then an IM, Amar, an IM, Zhao Wanyi, and then a GM, Subramaniam, and then they're tied for second with 6. So currently, Dina has 4.5, so Dina's tied for 42nd. So if she wins the game, she'll probably be tied for like 25th or something. And if she wins the last game, she'll probably be something like 12th or 13th. I've never looked at the standings. I look at the pairings sometimes. Like board 3 was a quick draw. And that's the only board that's done in the top like 30 boards is board 3. So yeah, go to chess.com, go to events, go to the Prague tournament. Then you'll have lots of options to see games, standings, results, pairings, all that stuff. And the pairings are up the night before. So I know who Dina's playing like 5 hours after her game ends the previous day. So by like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock tonight Eastern, I'll know who Dina's playing. Chess results, you can do that too. And I think you can see games at, what's it called? What's that app called? There's chess in the name. But the standings are never updated on this app. Follow Chess. Follow Chess has standings, but they never update them. So it always just says everybody has 0. But they have games. What do you think the appearance fee for Magnus and Tata Steel was? I have no idea. I would guess 25,000 US, maybe 20,000 euros. It's possible there are no appearance fees and the prizes are just bigger. I don't know. Some tournaments do that. Instead of giving everybody money, they just put that money in the prize fund. He didn't play this year, then his appearance fee was 0. Rawr. The question is, what was Ding's appearance fee as the world champion? Did he get more than everybody else? The answer is possibly. Noterbeck is playing Parham, and they're in first and second. Max Sudler's had a lot of bad tournaments lately, but he's having a good tournament now. What are playable moves? A5. The best move is F6. A5 is the second best move, and D takes C4 is the third best move. I don't think B5 is a move. Maybe. China takes most of it? I assume so. Maybe the Chinese government and Ding are like that, son. Yeah, there were always discussions when Yao Ming was in the NBA how much the Chinese government took of his salary. Most of those were tall tales, though. All right, let's have a look at YouTube. They're probably lonely. Pairings come out, F6. Tata can pay lots of appearance fees. I went to the Prague Chess Festival website and still can't spell Prague. What other women are playing today? I mean, there's probably like 25 women in the open section. Dina's already played 2 or 3 women. Is he Diana's father? I assume you mean Dina. I'm her grandfather. All right, good chat on YouTube. Good chat. 500 people watching on YouTube. Dina said they went shopping together. What was the last time you were in a training camp for a GM? What? I've never been in a training camp where I was the student, except when I was like, 9 years old and I went to the chess camp at Michigan State. But as an adult, I haven't been a student in a training camp. That would be fun. Go, Dina. Play a good move. But, think about it because it's a tough position. Smoke. Not now, Jerry. Nope, nobody smokes. My coffee's gone. Terrible. And Dina still has some coffee. Maybe I can have some of hers. Oh, no, she probably puts like cream in it. Or it's probably not even coffee. It's probably some kind of drink that I can't have. Let's see if I can get some coffee. I can't reach the coffee cup. Darn. Yeah, I can't get it. Dang. Stupid reality. Babula leaves his coffee cup on the back of his neck. Easy to get to. I prefer when the photographer comes up when Dina's opponent's gone, and then Dina always does this for focus reasons. Are you smoking yet? Yeah, but not this Babula is somebody else. There is a Grandmaster named Babula, but that's somebody else. Oh, that's his dad? That could be his dad. He's Czech, he has the same name. If that's his dad, I've heard of his dad. Where do you do your live lectures at? Right here. It's on Zoom. Zoom, Zoom, Zoom. He has 1 hour and 7 minutes. Why isn't his dad playing too? Maybe his dad's retired. Maybe he's busy doing something else. Sounds like his dad is 50 or 51, so could be retired. Could be coaching a lot. Is the bishop in danger of being trapped? There is a little danger, but the moves that black plays try to alleviate that. So that's why a5 is a move, f6, attacking the opponent's bishop. After f6, the engine wants to play b4, take this bishop, take this bishop. Then the game's too exciting, so they have to stop the game. Mr. Hardbiz subscribed with Prime. Thank you. Thanks for supporting the stream. I give lectures every Monday night, 6 p.m. Eastern. If you contact Karen at aclchessclub.com, she'll explain how to sign up. If you follow me on Twitter or Discord, it gives you instructions on how to sign up. Also, those lectures are later shown on the YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel has over 3,000 videos. Anywhere from 1 minute long to 4 hours. Might have some 12-hour videos on there too, from 12-hour streams. Possible. Dina always plays for a win. Hey, Night Night said that too. Good job. You missed the St. Louis lectures. They're all on the St. Louis website or YouTube page. Just go watch them. Do you still stream puzzles? Occasionally, when Karen's on the stream Tuesday night, between 10 p.m. and 11 p.m., often we do puzzles. Well, I think she'll play either a5 or f6. I just don't know which one's more likely. Chess is hard. It's easier when you have an engine helping you. That is pretty easy. You don't know why the moves are good, but it's like, okay, they're... A5 looks pretty natural to stop b4. Although you have to wonder what you're going to do against A3, B4. So, temporary solution. Well, I'm an old man, Ward G. I used to be 2563. Then I got a serious case of old. Yeah, if you look at any Grandmaster and compare their ratings in their 30s and their 50s, you'll notice the 50s ones are a lot lower. Almost 1,000 viewers on Dina's channel, 500 on YouTube, and 300 on our channel. Go viewers. 3 different chats, what else? My current strength right now, it's the morning, I'm pretty tired, so pretty weak. My strength is 0. The only thing that matters is my blitz rating on chess.com. And by that, I mean the only thing that doesn't matter. But that impresses people because they don't know there's different rating systems. So when they see 2820, they're like, wow, that's a high rating. If you want to impress somebody with your rating, tell them your puzzle rating on chess.com. That's usually about 1,500 points better than your actual strength. Go, Dina. Make a move eventually. Alex is slightly worse. How's Andrea doing? Kramnik is not older than me, but Kasparov is. I'm older than Kramnik. It's Chuck. Are you still here, Chuck? There's an issue with the candidates where it might not take place in Toronto, but it seems like it's been working out better the last few days and people are getting visas. They're having visa issues. So it's much more likely now it'll take place than it was 5 days ago. It's still on for now, yeah, but it's looking better. They issued 30 visas a couple days ago. So there's 10 more visas that have to be given out to people. I mean, if the players all have visas, it doesn't matter if other people do. Then, there's probably press and staff and seconds and coaches and whatever, tournament people. But, she played the best move, F6. She's like, Ben won't like that, but that's the best move. Very good, Dina. So right now it's still on. I mean, if it was canceled, I would tell you. But it was looking bad about 4 days ago. People hadn't gotten visas for months. And then all of a sudden, bam, 30 visas because FIDE and everybody complained to the Canadian government. So supposedly, Canada doesn't like India and vice versa. And there's a lot of Indian players and press and seconds. And also India doesn't like Russia. So all the players are from India and Russia, so it's hard to give visas. Hopefully Chuck and I are going. That would be nice. Yeah, a lot of the players have Grandmaster card instead of Visa. That's a credit card you guys don't know about because you're not Grandmasters. So they can't get a Visa because they already have Grandmaster card. I have American Express because I'm American. Okay, Chuck. Thanks for checking in. What's the beef between India and Canada? Well, in Canada, they eat beef, and in India, they're like, whoa, cows are sacred. That's mainly the beef between India and Canada. No, I'm not doing anything for the candidates. I'm just going to be there hanging out. I might do some coverage, during the candidates, but maybe I won't. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Chess engines love F6. Always play F6. Okay, let me get the good engine. Go, good engine. Okay, F6. Let's see what the good engine says. Good engine says bishop E3 is the best move. E takes F6 is second, but not good, and B4 is third. It says bishop E3 is almost equal. Well, and the dumb engine says the same thing. It says bishop E3 because the dumb engine is dumb because it only has depth 19. Yeah, the strong engine says bishop E3 is forced. Otherwise, black has a big advantage. After bishop E3, black has a small advantage. Of course, what the engine said doesn't matter because the game's a complete mess. For an engine, it's not a mess. The engine's like whatever. But for a human, there's a lot to calculate. There's a lot of possible captures. There's a lot of kings that could get exposed. Black hasn't developed her queenside pieces over here yet. And black's a pawn up. Queens are both on unusual squares. So I don't know. But the engine says it's good. Okay, B4, that was the third best move. That's the most aggressive move. So basically, Dina has to find knight D7. Dina's going to take, and her opponent will take. And in this position, it's not obvious to me that knight D7 is the best move, but it's obvious to the computer. And the reason is, white's threatening c takes b6. So knight d7 protects that, develops a piece, threatens knight takes c5, etc. After knight d7, black has possibly a winning advantage. If black plays anything else, like b takes c5, then white is okay, but black is still better. So basically, if two engines were playing right now, probably black would win. I think black's winning if it's two supercomputers. Well, with two humans, anything can happen. So the main line is take here, then knight d7. If she finds knight d7, she'll be close to winning. I don't think knight d7 is that hard to find. She can definitely find it. But first she has to take the bishop on g5. That's the only good move. If she plays any other move, she's worse. bc5 is playable and it's okay, but knight d7 is better because that threatens knight takes c5, and then black has a lot of moves that are taking pawns like here and here and here and g4. I mean, black has a lot of good moves there. Knight d7 developing a piece is good. Who would have thunk it? Now, Dina's still better if she plays b takes c5, but knight d7, she's very close to winning. She's a pawn up, and she might win another pawn. You can think as long as you want, Vlastimil, but you're going to play b takes c5. Yeah, actually, the strong engine says white's better if black takes either pawn here. That knight d7, black is close to winning, and other moves, white's better. So she has to find knight d7. She found f6, so why not find knight d7? Knight d7 develops a piece, threatens knight takes c5. If cb, knight b6 forks the queen and c-pawn. So I think she'll find knight d7. The knight's not doing anything good on b8. I don't think she'll take on h4, even though the engine says that's equivalent to taking on c5, because cb looks very menacing. So I think she'll find the right move and play knight d7. And I think her second choice will be taking on c5. Hopefully she doesn't do that. Her opponent's crying. No. Dina's played very well the last few rounds. Go Dina. She's getting this sharp, complicated position, and she wants to win, so that's good. The bad thing is she's down 20 minutes on the clock, but sometimes you can catch up in one move. No, my drinks are gone. No. Yesterday, I didn't eat before the stream, just like today. So then I had to go to the dentist. And then I got home. I got home at 5 minutes to 6 p.m. And then finally I made myself some food. Yay. So I ate a little after 6 p.m. That was my first food of the day. Truth hurts. Today we're having dinner at 7. So I'll have a lunch and then I can have dinner at 7. I think it's Vlastimil. Samia, I guess. Go vegan restaurants. It's like I'm a kid in some kind of store when I go to a vegan restaurant. I don't have to ask what's vegan. Are you sure it's vegan? Can you ask the chef? And they don't spit in my food. That's right. You're so happy you're like a vegan in a vegan restaurant. Is spit vegan? Depends whose spit it is and how it was obtained. Taco Bell does have vegan options. That's correct. The only way to know how long I've been vegan is to type !vegan. Because I don't know. It's a long time. You thought all of Taco Bell is vegan. No way that stuff is meat. Well, also they have like dairy stuff like sour cream and cheese. That's not vegan. What's wrong with tube meat? Tube meat? On The Simpsons, there's an episode called Lisa the Vegetarian, where she becomes a vegetarian. And she asked Lunch Lady Doris, is there anything here that's vegetarian? And she says, is there something here without meat? And the lunch lady says, possibly the meatloaf. You'd never drink a meat smoothie again. No, that's my dog. Go dogs. That's correct, Dark Side. Very good. Yay, she played knight d7. Go Dina. Okay, so Dina has 25 minutes less, but the engine's like, go Dina. Other than bishop c5, Dina's played an immaculate game. Almost everything she did was perfect except for bishop c5, and that's worked out fine because white made several subpar moves. In fact, almost every move after his prep is bad. Knight c3 is not the best. Queen b3 wasn't the best. Queen a4 wasn't the best. And b4 wasn't the best. But b takes c5 was the best. So he played one excellent move after his prep. Usually when the dog's barking, that means Dina has a big advantage. What is meatloaf? I don't know. It's something that moms made between 1950 and 1990 for dinner for their families, and the kids hated it. That's what it is. Let's see if Bonarici agrees. Meatloaf used to be a vegetarian, then he wasn't, then he died. Truth hurts. You know, the singer. Meatloaf is like bread, but meat. Not sure if that explains it too well. It's funny. Yay, go Dina. Dina's playing great this game, as per usual. The cap score is 95.3 for Dina and 93 for her opponent. Yeah, if Dina wins this game, which seems likely, she'll be up a lot of rating points this tournament. Position's still super complicated. He's looking at taking here, taking here, taking here, taking here, and probably knight d4. Okay, he took on b6. Pretty quick decision. Because, you know, knight takes c5 was annoying. Now Dina will definitely play knight takes b6, and she'll play it relatively quickly. Dina Botezkaya. Possibly because of what she's wearing. Developing pieces is good. That's why knight d7 is good. Black has all of her pieces out and is ready to castle kingside if necessary. Dina's taking a lot longer for knight takes b6 than she should because she's getting in, you know, she has much less time than her opponent. She needs time later. Yay, go Dina. All right, let's see what the good engine says. It says good, good. Dina definitely playing better than her opponent this game. Go good engine. Good engine says all of the queen moves are about the same. Queen b3, queen b4, queen d1. Queen c2 is not good because it hangs the queen. Right now, engine has a slight preference for queen b4. Makes sense. It puts pressure on the knight. Stops black from castling. Yeah, it says after queen b4, black should take on h4. Then black would be 2 pawns up at that point. And if you take with the knight on h4, the e5 pawn's not defended. I'm not sure if black would take it, but could. So yeah, I mean, black's going to be 1 or 2 pawns up, and white has a lot of weaknesses. E5, C4, H4. And black's going to castle. The king is super safe, and black has the F file. And black can later play knight D5, knight F4, or knight G6, knight F4. So black has good ideas, and black's up material, and white doesn't have enough compensation. So if 2 engines were playing, black would win this position. Yeah, the good engine says 1.53 for black. Now it says G takes H4 is the only move that gives black the advantage. Otherwise, black's not better anymore. But she could also be considering knight takes C4. I guess you don't want white to play knight G5 or HG5. Yeah, after knight G5, after knight C4, knight G5, it says it's equal. So again, Dina has only one good move to give her the advantage. Very tricky position, not easy to find, your way around the labyrinth of tough moves to find. Yeah, I mean, you could consider taking with the pawn, taking with the knight, taking here, playing knight G6, playing G4. If you're not using an engine, it's not clear what to do. If you're using an engine, it's a lot easier. Anyway, if you don't believe me, you can ask Kramnik. One idea of G takes H4 is if white doesn't take back, which probably he won't, then black can play H3, and white's king is in some jeopardy. Like, you can't take on H3 because the knight's hanging. You can't play G3 because the knight's hanging. And I'm going to take on G2, and then the white's king is a little iffy. So it's funny, taking has the idea of playing H3, which is excellent. But there's so many tempting moves for black, it's hard to pinpoint the correct one unless you're cheating with an engine. Then it's easy. Yeah, she's way down on the clock. That's correct. But her position's really good. Dina played Carol for the first time in tournament to confuse her opponent. This is definitely not the first time she's played the Carol this tournament. She played it in round 2 and she lost. That was the only game she lost. Against Grandmaster Barbosa. She only plays the Carol Khan if your name starts with a BA. Babula, Barbosa, etc. Also, she only plays it when she has the black pieces. I saw the name of that video where it said Kramnik can go F himself from Hikaru, but I didn't watch the video. That's good content. Is it possible to play the same opponent twice in a tournament? The answer is sort of no. But if you're playing in a double round robin, then you will play the same person twice. But in an open tournament, no. Are you Naka's second in candidates? I am not. I was Naka's second once in 2011 at the Tal Memorial in Moscow. He came in last. So that's the kind of second I was. Are you Naka's first? I'll have my thirds call your fourths. What happened to the Tal Memorial? I don't know. She took on H4 pretty quickly. Less than 5 minutes. Yeah, Dina's, other than Bishop C5, Dina's played a model game. Very engine-y. But Bishop C5 it didn't like very much. But that worked out fine. Because he played B4 question mark. So her bad move turned out to work out really well. And then every other move she played was virtually perfect. She's playing 96 and her opponent's playing 92, it says. Yeah, she's playing in the mid to high 90s every game. Good, good. The only problem with Dina's position is her clock. She's down 25 minutes on the clock. But her position's great. Currently, Dina's up 2 pawns. 7 pawns to 5. And this pawn's attacked, this pawn's weak, this pawn's super weak, this pawn can be captured. But black's king isn't suffering on e8 because white has no pieces to attack it. So black isn't like, oh no, my king's on e8. It seems okay. Nobody's moved their rooks, so the rooks aren't doing anything. And this e file's closed, so there's no danger of, something bad happening here. Does Dina have a rating? Yes. He's investigating. Yay. What's the best move after c takes d5? Well, the engine says h3. That's a hard move to find. Thanks, Burkham2003, for subscribing to Dina's channel and supporting the streams. Make sure you support Dina's channel. She's bringing you this great content. I never thought 20 years ago that in retirement, Kramnik would spend all of his time making videos accusing people of cheating. I didn't think that was going to be, his legacy in life. Yeah, c takes d5. It wants to play h3. I don't know if that's going to happen. h3 is a hard move to find when you can take back the pawn 4 different ways. He definitely may play c takes d5 also. Seems like a natural move. Wow, h3 is all the engines say h3. Let's see. C takes d5. I played c takes d5. He didn't. Also, e takes d5 is good, and queen g4 is good. E takes d5 is almost as good as h3. They're similar. And queen g4 gives black a big advantage also. The idea is if you trade, the knight's hanging and the d5 pawn is hanging, and black's going to be up 2 pawns. Or maybe 1 pawn. Well, maybe 2. Yeah, I guess 2. So if he plays c takes d5, she has 3 good moves. Take with the e pawn, h3, or queen g4. So it's not dangerous. It's not like she can blunder. The other move he can play is knight d4, which is very risky because you're leaving your king open. Queen can go here and pawn here. Dangerous. And the knight here isn't attacking anything. These pawns are defended. So it's tough for white. Oh, white already moved. He played c takes d5. Okay. Well. Yeah, now Dina has 3 good moves, and h3 is the best. But that's a hard move to find. Some friend requests here. Okay. So the engine says h3 is 1, e takes d5 is 2, and queen g4 is 3. And they're all much better for black or winning. I could see her taking with this pawn or the knight too. Seems like those are okay too. I don't see why they're not okay. After e takes d5, surprisingly, black has 2 passed pawns. Damn. That's good for the endgame. h3 is a really sharp move. I mean, if she plays that, she's really on her game. Just ignoring this and like trying to checkmate white's king and open up the king. Do you know Kramnik well? I've never spoken to Kramnik. We've butt heads on Twitter. I thought he would block me because he blocks everybody. And I've basically been calling him a moron for like 3 months. But he hasn't blocked me, I guess, because we're grandmasters. We're like that, son. Kramnik was one of my most favorite players ever, but now he turned into a crazy old man. He's not even that old. What's it going to be like in 20 years? Terrible. Where's Dina? She's walking around. That's what she does. I'm leaving my engine on because it doesn't seem to be making the stream go slower. I'm always worried when I use Stockfish that the computer just breaks. But I'm only using one CPU. If I use as many CPUs as it allows me to, the computer doesn't work anymore. All right, let's check my emails. The Braves, yeah, Braves are good. Cameo request. Let's see. These emails are all stupid. I'm so old, I still use email. Who would have thunk it? I was around when email was born. Where's my stream? Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Do you have the link to the game on chess.com? I do. Okay, back to YouTube. Dina Machina. What phase of the tournament are we in? This is round 8 of 9. Tomorrow the round starts 4 hours earlier. So if you want to watch the live coverage tomorrow from me and Karen, then 4 hours earlier. Do you think Anand is the best among 50 plus players of all time? Maybe. Lasker was pretty good when he was over 50. I think he was world champion. Yeah, Dina has 4.5 out of 7. She has 3 wins, 3 draws, and 1 loss. She lost with Black in a similar opening to a Grandmaster in round 2. The last few rounds, she's playing great. She's playing in the mid-90s. Good thing Kramnik's not watching the stream. He'd be furious. Somebody with her rating playing 95 every game. He wouldn't like that. Will you commentate for Reykjavik? I am commentating on another Dina tournament in the next month, but I don't know which one it is. And I think she's playing in a tournament in Berlin between now and Reykjavik. I think that's what she said. I'm commentating on some tournament, but I don't know which one it is. It might be Reykjavik. It seems like almost any move she makes is good, but the engine really likes h3. That's a hard move to play. Yeah, it still says h3 is best, ed is second, and queen g4 is third. Yeah, Smyslov at 63 was a candidate, and he lost a candidates match to Kasparov to see who would play Karpov for the World Championship. So Smyslov was really good over 50. Korchnoi was really good over 50, etc. But Anand is also very good over 50, and so is Lasker. So there's a few people. I'm over 50, terrible. Okay, Dina has 28 minutes, and her opponent has 58 minutes, and they're on move 18. So I'm getting slightly worried. And by slightly, I mean very. This was a Carol Khan. Khan. Okay, she played ED. That's fine. That's the second best move. H3 was a really hard move to play. Now he can play queen h4, knight h4, or knight d4. Those seem to be the only viable choices. So right now, knight d4 is the best. Queen h4 is second. The third best move is knight d1. God damn. I guess you want to go to e3, but that's nobody's ever going to play that. So for some reason, knight takes h4 is terrible, but queen takes h4 is okay. And knight d4 is the engine preferred move. And it says black is up 1.3. I could see knight d4 being played or queen h4. I can also see knight h4, but the engine says no. The engine says boo. Let's see what's wrong with knight h4. Queen g4 winning. Yeah, actually, this looks bad for white. You can't trade queens because the knight's trapped, and if you defend your knight with g3, I play g5, and this is just terrible. Knight g2, knight c4. Black's threatening knight d2, knight f3, knight takes rook, knight takes pawn, knight f3, and black's a pawn ahead. Also, I guess black could double rooks on the h-file, also bad. So this is completely winning for black. It's +4. So you can't play, if he plays knight h4 and she plays queen g4, he's in a lot of trouble. Yeah, this is completely winning for black, as opposed to barely winning. So his only two moves to keep a slightly lost position are knight d4 and queen takes h4. Otherwise, he's actually lost. He's lost. So in this current position, black is up 2 pawns, and black is threatening h3, which makes it tough for white. And also, I would say black is threatening queen g4, because if we trade queens on g4, black is just 2 pawns up for nothing. If you don't trade queens on g4, your queen's hanging, and h3 is coming. So black is threatening queen here and pawn here, and black's 2 pawns up. So engine likes black a lot. And she played, what'd she play? Oh, wait, what? I can't even tell what she played. All her pieces are on the same squares, but it's not her move. Oh, that's because it's not her move. Okay. I was confused. I'm an old man. I don't know what's going on anymore. That reminds me of a funny story. A friend of mine who's older, he was probably 65 when this story happened. He said, "What's the soup of the day?" And the waitress said, this happened to me. The waitress said, "There's no soup of the day. We don't have soup." He's like, "Oh, okay." Then like 3 minutes later, 4 minutes later, he's like, "Where's my soup?" He didn't tell the waitress that. He told us. And we're like, "She said there's no soup." And he goes, "Oh." Truth hurts when you get older. So hopefully he'll think 20, 25 minutes here and she'll catch up on time. Yeah, knight d4 is clearly the best move. That keeps her winning advantage to a minimum. Barely winning, if winning at all. Alex is way up on time and slightly better. Andrea is the exact opposite. But Andrea's opponent's 500 points higher rated. God damn. After knight d4, it wants Dina to play queen g4. Then h3 is too strong, so white's has to play f3. then Dina can play queen d7 or queen f4. And it says she's up like 1.2, 1.3. Now she's 2 pawns up. If he plays knight d4, he ain't getting those pawns back. She's just up 2 pawns. That's why some people would just take this just to be down less pawns. That's why he's thinking so long. The big decision to play knight d4 and just say, well, I'm down 2 pawns. Most people don't like to be down 2 pawns and facing the threat of h3. So he's going to think a long time this move and choke on his rage. Hopefully he thinks long enough where the times get similar. Okay, I'm going to get another drink because he's not going to move for a while. You better not. I'll be back. I brought a banana. She already played f6. She can't play it again. Okay, I said he wouldn't move when I was gone because I thought he'd take a long time on this move. So far, I was correct. He moved right after I got back. Perfect. Okay, now queen g4 is the best move because f3 really weakens the diagonal on the king side here. So, and queen g4 pins the knight and threatens h3. Let's see what the second best move is. Knight d4. Queen d7 is the second best. Queen f7 is the third best. And they give black nice advantages. But queen g4 is better. In fact, the engine says queen g4, f3, queen d7 is better than queen d7 right away. f3 is a real concession around white's king. Forcing f3. And queen d7 is clearly the second best move, and queen f7 is clearly the third. And black is better in all those situations. And black is up 2 pawns, so white has to prove that he has compensation for 2 pawns. So all 3 moves are good, and she'll play one of them. But queen g4 is the best. Eat like a grandmaster. When Hammer's doing commentary on the Bow Test channel, does he ever leave and go to the bathroom or go get coffee, or he just sits there for 6 hours? Their games aren't as long as Dina's, so he doesn't have to sit as long as I do. Yeah, he leaves. Truth hurts. If you haven't seen the video, Hammer got really excited yesterday when Andrea was winning after she was losing. Like when she played Queen E8, he went totally bananas. Because, bananas. Taking the E pawn looks suicidal because you're opening the E file. Yeah, don't do that. That's like losing on purpose. Rook E1, knight takes C6, Papa John's. And nobody goes to Papa John's on purpose. Dina, you can't think so long. You're going to get in time trouble. No. I played Hammer in a Blitz tournament, and I had black and a Chigorn, and I lost. That's the only time I've played Hammer. That was about 10 years ago. There's a commercial that's shown in the U.S. for Papa John's, and they say, broke-ass teenager, no self-respect, Papa John's. Hiring now. Dina does have her own chess set. Most chess players have their own chess set. Boy, that banana was really appealing. There's the link to the game if you guys want to watch like I am. "24 minutes for Dina, and she has to make 22 more moves. Truth hurts. Luckily, there's 30-second increments, so it should be fine. Star Nebula, that question's never been asked. And by never, I mean it's asked 10 times a day. Are you following Capel's Open? I followed Chappelle more than Capel. No, I'm not following it. I'm only following this. And I'm barely following this. We need a command for that question. That's correct. The higher rated players and the streamers use DGT boards so we can look at them on the internet and watch them live. Go, Dina. Make a move at some point. Yay, she made a move. And was the best move. Dina's playing a lot of best moves. Queen G4. Forcing F3. Never play F3. Yeah, the good engine says F3 is the only move. Otherwise, black is +2. After F3, the engine says black's only 1.2. And then after F3, black should play Queen D7. But other queen moves are also good. Just Queen D7 is the best one. That's the safest move. I don't know if she'll play Queen D7 after F3. She might play a more aggressive move. You know, move the queen somewhere where it's doing something on the king side. What about Queen G6? Was Karen here earlier? She was not. She has a lot of poker study to do because we're going next Wednesday to Tulsa to play poker for 4 days. At the Hard Rock Cafe. If you live in Tulsa, come say hi. Also, if you live in Tulsa, then I feel bad for you. Sorry, man. Life's been tough on you. Never play F3 is correct. The cap score is 96 for black and 93.2 for white. So the best move is queen d7. The second best move is queen f4. If she plays anything else, she's not better. Queen g6, the third best, but it says black doesn't have an advantage then. I don't know why. I'm taking black with 2 extra pawns. Okay, she played queen f4. That's also a good move. It's very similar to queen d7 in evaluation. Now it says he should play knight c to e2. And the second best move is rook a e1. And there is no third best move. Third best move, she's winning. And the engine says after knight here, it's 0.9 for black. But black's up 2 pawns. This pawn's weak. h3 opens up the white king. I don't know why black's advantage is so little. I guess because black's king's on e8. Truth hurts. I think Dina's pretty confident now. It's funny, after knight ce2, the engine plays queen takes e5 and black's up 3 pawns. Because the knight on e2 blocks the e file. So queen takes e5 is less suicidal. So the guy might play rook a e1 to defend his e-pawn rather than block the e file with this move. This seems like a computer move. Rook e1 seems like a human move. Also, it's human to be moved. That's by a 20th century poet, Newman. Unknown poet. So I'd be surprised if he plays knight ce2. I would think he'll play rook a e1. Black will castle either kingside or queenside or not castle. Those are the 3 options. Which one, I don't know. I'd be surprised if she castles queenside. The other ones wouldn't surprise me. The only thing wrong with Dina's position is her clock. Everything else is great. But 22 minutes to make 20 moves. Truth hurts. Luckily, the 30-second increment makes everything okay. Can she play h3 after rook e1? Yes. The engine wants her to play rook c8, threatening c5. That seems unlikely. Also, that defends the c-pawn, so black can play knight g6 or knight f5 and not worry about knight c6. So rook c8's interesting. c5, move the knight, etc. Because if black plays knight f5, then, white wants to play knight takes c6. I guess white could still do that after rook c8. Oh, no, white can't do that because the knight's hanging on c3. Yeah, I trade queens, knight takes queen, rook takes knight. So after rook a e1, rook c8 is good and h3 is good. After knight ce2, the engine wants to take on e5. And black's 3 pawns up. What else? I'm not saying she will take on e5, but that is the best move. Yeah, white has compensation for 2 pawns, but if the compensation runs out, she's up 2 pawns. He has to keep getting counterplay and making threats. Hopefully, in the next 3 or 4 moves, he'll take a big think about some move and get closer. Players will be closer on the clock. $1,300 viewers on Dina's channel. What else? Botez Live, 17.6 thousand viewers. They got 2 games going, 1 for each of them. What else? That's Dmitry Komarov, Grandmaster commentator. He used to say 2 bishops, what else? It was funny. One game, one of the players had some cream, and they were like putting cream on their hands. And he said, If he wins this position, I'm going to use this cream. So, yeah, Komarov's a great commentator. Go Dina. Let's see if there's any results. Wow, board 5, black won, and black was a lot lower rated. Pretty early for a win. And he's check, so that's good. The fans are happy. Then board 9 was a draw, board 3 was a draw, and that's it. Wow, black won quickly in board 5. A 23.99 beat a 25.67. Somehow the 23.99 is a Grandmaster. What is he, British? Dina's opponent has twice as much time as she does. Time to think for 20 minutes. Favorite band? I don't know, the band. Go Levon Helm. Or as most people would say, go Robbie Robertson. But I wouldn't say that. Yeah, Levon Helm, RIP. Queen C5 looks aggressive. Well, then after Queen E3 check, the knight's pinned on D4. So that could work out badly. Also, black could play knight D7. Knight D7 probably just wins on the spot. Queen C5, knight D7. Queen has to defend the knight. Queen B4, C5. So yeah, Queen C5 is like ace-king. No good. Looks good, but never wins. It's me, the worst chess player in the chess club. All right. Have you ever had the fatals, but not the two bishops? Yeah, I guess so. Fatals without the two bishops. Fatals. Board 1 is too exciting, so we can't watch it. There's probably a lot of exciting games going on in the open section. So many games. But this is the only one that matters for this stream. Go Dina. Now you can see Dina's score sheet pretty well. He did play knight CE2. I'm surprised. Good move. It says queen takes e5 is the only move to give black an advantage. It says queen f7 and queen e3 check are equal. Tough move to play with 20 minutes on your clock. Queen takes e5. After queen e3 check, it says then queen takes d5. You want the king on g1 so you can have this king on the open diagonal. Another tough decision for Dina. Queen e5, 3 pawns extra, what else? Yeah, position's super complicated. What time Dina played tomorrow? That spelling of tomorrow was a bit suspicious. 3 M's in a row and 1 R. 5 a.m. Eastern, 4 hours earlier than the usual time. That's a good dog. Dina has 20 minutes and her opponent has 42. Dina still has to make 20 moves. Stop the game, it's too exciting. Yeah, it's 50-50 she takes on e5. Looks very dangerous. Go, Dina. And by go, I mean make a move because your time's getting low. What about the rooks? The rooks are on fire. $18 minutes and 30 seconds for Dina. Yeah, this is very unnerving for me that she's playing so slowly this game. Is that Alex's Adidas jacket Dina's wearing? Possibly. Queen g5 seems to run into like knight e6. I don't like queen g5. Also, f4 looks pretty good. How many moves until move 40? 19 and a half. 19 for her opponent, 20 for her. Alex just won? Go, Alex. Come on, Dina, make a move. Any move. Didn't specify which Alex. That would be Alex Botez. 16 minutes for Dina, 42 minutes for her opponent. Yay! She took on e5. Go Dina. She played the best move. Playing a lot of best moves this game. I bet she's playing so slowly. So for some reason, rook fe1 is much stronger than rook ae1. I guess the a rook needs to go to some other square that's not e1 because the rook on f1 is useless. It says black has a winning advantage if white doesn't play rook fe1, if white plays anything else. Because, yeah, black's going to play knight c4, and this knight can't move because queen takes knight. So rook fe1 is much stronger than rook ae1. Super complicated. Black's up 3 pawns, but black's king has an issue. But black is up 3 pawns and has 2 passed pawns. So white has to prove compensation. Very dangerous position. Dina's playing 95.7. Her opponent's playing 93.5. Dina can castle either way, but she won't be doing it soon. Go Dina. 3 extra pawns. What else? Yeah, this is a very complicated game. It will be difficult to have a high accuracy. That makes Kramnik even more suspicious. Kramnik said he wouldn't play Jospin online anymore. Yeah, if you avoid playing people who are better than you, then you win more. Kramnik often says he won't play Title Tuesday anymore. Then he plays every Title Tuesday. So I don't know. Grain of salt. Kramnik says a lot of things, but are any of them true? The answer is fries. Yeah, white has 38 minutes and 50 seconds, and black has 16 and a half minutes. But getting 30-second increment is good. When I was a kid, we didn't get 30-second increment. We just lost on time. Also, we didn't have digital clocks, so we didn't know when our flag was going to fall. And truth hurts. Man, if only hourglasses were invented when I was a kid, that would have been helpful. We just counted on our fingers. That's how much time we had, and then people had to be honest about it. Yeah, we didn't have Tappa, Tappa, Tappa. I would have killed for Tappa, Tappa. Yeah. Very exciting game. The only problem is Dina's time management. Otherwise, everything is going fine. Yeah, no anal beads. Terrible. Go, Dina, with your 3 extra pawns. You go, girl. Throw out some garbage. Like banana peel. And bottle, so forth. I'm drinking water. He played Rook AE1 when I left. Okay. Yeah, if I was playing the game, I wouldn't know which Rook move was better. I'd probably play Rook AE1 just so Rook's not in the corner. That's me in the corner. So Knight C4 is just about winning for black. The second best move is Knight on B to C8, defending the knight. That's also better for black. The third best move is Knight D7, and that's equal. So she has to move her knight. This is the best, this is second best, and this is third best. The good engine says Knight C4 is winning, 1.74. Knight C8 looks logical, too, to defend the knight. And she played Knight C4. She keeps playing the best move. Ben, check your texts. And my phone's 100%. All right, looks like we're going to Vlastimil tomorrow, not today. Same time? Okay. To change my reservation. Yeah, don't move. I'm making a reservation, or I'm changing it. Let's see, how do I do that? Verify your account by typing in the same thing over and over. Change reservation. It cannot be changed. Okay. Oh, it costs $20 to cancel it per guest. Wow. Man, the truth hurts. Okay, good, he didn't move. It says Dina's playing 96.3. Interesting. And her opponent's playing 92.6. Knight c4. It says no matter what he does, she's up 1.7 to 2.5. It says queen c5 is the best move. Knight c2 is second best. Knight c2. And knight b3 is third. Now it says knight e6 is second best, but no good. I mean, with the variations the engine's giving, it just nothing's happening and black's 3 pawns up. So the good engine says black is up 1.84 if he plays queen c5. If he plays anything else, she's up 2.3 or more. So it's like almost no compensation for 3 pawns. Yeah, it really hates rook e1. I like rook fe1 more. Not sure if Karen saw my text. I have a great question for you. If it was Dina's turn, could she legally castle? Yes. She hasn't moved any of these pieces yet. She can castle all 3 ways. Dina has 15 minutes and 44 seconds, and her opponent has 32 minutes. And they've both made 22 moves. Dina's playing great this game. She's made like 1 inaccuracy and like 1 bad move, bishop c5. That's more of an inaccuracy than a bad move. Castle all 3 ways is correct. Dina's playing great the last like 4 or 5 rounds. Always playing in the 90s, etc. Go Dina is correct. Hey, Karen, did you see my text? Oh, look at my text. Okay. She can't find her phone. She just had her phone. She's texting me. Yay, thanks, BStat160, for gifting a sub to Dina's stream. Okay, here we go. Don't ever move. Catch up to Dina on time. Are you allowed to touch a piece with one hand and press the clock with the other? You're not supposed to do that. Okay, 29 minutes for white, 15:44 for black. It's getting closer. People are saying that this is Vlastimil Babula's son. This is definitely not the Grandmaster. This kid's 17. I have not seen the Hikaru clip, but I saw the name of it. All right, let me cancel this. I put reservation and it autocorrected to presentation. Yeah, don't move. I'm texting. Yeah, it's getting closer on time. 27 minutes to 16. It looks like it's the same jumpsuit. Maybe she borrowed one of the Botez sisters' jumpsuits. Okay, her opponent has 25 minutes and she has 16 minutes. So it's getting closer. This is a tough position for white. Like the best move is queen c5, and that's not obvious at all. It's not clear what white should do. White can move the knight away, hoping to move this knight. White can play knight e6 with crazy tactics. If I was white, I'd be looking at knight c6, because then after knight c6, the e file's opened. But then the queen's attacked, so I don't know. I mean, knight c6 is bad, but I'd be looking at it if I was white. I'd look at f4, I'd look at knight e6, I'd look at moving the knight away, I'd look at queen c5, I'd look at queen b7. I mean, there's just so many moves. And he doesn't have an engine helping him. Bstat 160 gifted a sub to my channel. Thank you. Go, Ben and Karen. Anonymous gifter gifted a sub. Thank you. Go Anonymous. Dina playing in Prague? I didn't see her in the Blitz on Sunday. Maybe she didn't play in the Blitz. Usually she records if she plays Blitz. Okay, the clock times are getting closer to even. He was up 30 minutes on the clock. Now he's up 8 minutes. And he hasn't moved yet. So that's good. Dina's up 3 pawns. What else? Queen c5 makes sense for not only attacking the pawn, but the queen defends the knight, so this knight can move away. So that makes sense, queen c5. Problem is, I play queen d6 and you're forced to trade queens. He doesn't like that. That might dissuade him from playing queen c5, even though it's the best move. Queen d6 is a forced queen trade. He doesn't want a queen trade. So, yeah, he probably won't play queen c5 just because of queen d6. So he'll never move. How about queen takes e7? Queen takes e7 will not be played. Yeah, queen takes c7. Queen takes e7 is a real Botez sacrifice there. It says Dina's playing 96.3 and her opponent's playing 92.6. Kramnik's mad at both of them. Yeah, knight c6 is a move, knight e6 is a move, queen c5 is a move. Knight c2 and knight b3 are moves. f4 is a move. That's why he's taking so long. It's not obvious what white should do here. And what the engine says is white should play queen c5, queen d6, and they trade queens. Man, white doesn't want to do that. And if you told white that was the best line, he probably still wouldn't do it. It's 3 pawns down. Yeah, if somebody was giving knight takes c6, knight c6, queen b7, castles, queen takes. And black's 2 pawns up. I don't know if castles is the correct move. Looks pretty good. Yay, the guy decided to think forever on a move. Yeah, much more confident when the time situation is equal, not when she's down 20, 30 minutes on the clock. King h1, frankly, terrible. So the idea is he wants to move his knight, and then queen takes knight isn't check. So then he can take this knight with mate. But unfortunately, Dina can just castle here and she's winning. Then if the knight moves, I take this knight, you take this knight. I've already castled. So castling is just winning. Just winning. Who would have thought when you're attacking somebody that king h1 would be too passive? Okay, the good engine says after castles, black is +3. And after king f7, black is +2. And a5 is also a move attacking the queen. Also +2 for black. So castles is best, king f7 second, a5's third. Now it says rook b8 is third. Well, she castled quickly. Yeah, now she's just winning. Yeah, Dina's played great. Too slow, but great. Now the engine says knight g1 is the best move. Queen takes knight, takes on e7, and black's 3 pawns up. With virtually no compensation. There's none. Yeah, king h1 was terrible. So it looks very likely Dina's going to win. Now it says she's playing 96.5 and he's playing 89.7. Kramnik's happy with White's play. Now 89.7, that's allowed. Queen b7. Let's see. Queen b7 is not a move. So, yeah, now it says black's 4.5 ahead. It says every move wins. Rook a e8, knight e3, h3. It says they're all like +4, +5. Right now, knight e3 is the best. h3 is second best. And rook a e8 is third best. But they're all +4, +5 for black. Well, now white has nothing. White's just down a lot of pawns. And black has 2 passed pawns. White has no compensation for the pawns. Now white's playing 87.1, so Kramnik is pleased. This guy's not having a good tournament, and he's not playing particularly well this game. White's made his 24th move. 19.5 minutes to 13.5 minutes. Both sides have 4.5 out of 7. Rook a8 is the natural move, so she might play that. But knight e3 is good, h3 is good. I don't think she'll play h3. I think she'll play knight e3 or rook a8. Rook a8 is like the most human move. We don't really care about the a7 pawn. I guess knight takes c6 wins a pawn too, but I mean, black's up 2 pawns after that. Oh, if I was black, I'd be thinking about queen f6 because that defends the c pawn, but the engine doesn't care about that. But queen f6 looks like a human move, or queen d6. I don't see what's wrong with that. Knight e3, that's the best move. She's playing the best move almost every move. Even I think she's cheating, and she's not. Every move she plays the best move. That's good. Okay, so she played knight e3. He should play f4. This says rook f2 is the third best move. That's what he played. Now it says she's up +6. It says every move wins. Rook a b8, c5, h3. Every move wins. +5, +6. Thanks, Mage Gino, for subscribing. Thanks for supporting the stream. Well, basically, black's up 3 pawns for nothing. Like, white has no initiative. Black might have an initiative against white's king. Yeah, knight f5 is good because this is pinned. Now it says she's +4.3. Yeah, that gets rid of any play that white had. Yeah, white's like sort of passive here and bottled up. Knight F5. I mean, every move wins, so it's just a question of which. It's not like she has to play a certain way. Yeah, she's wrapping it up. Knight G3 check is the best. Then it wants him to play knight takes G3. Jesus Christ. Why wouldn't you play King G1? I mean, terrible, but he'll play King G1. Then it says Rook AE8. Okay, she played Rook C8. Yeah, she's just mopping up now. Like, it's just too easy to win now. Every move wins. Yeah, every move is +5 for black. Black's 2 pawns up and better. And has a pin here. Black has a safer king, better knight, better rooks, Papa John's. I mean, there's no reason to use an engine anymore. Just every move wins. Dina has 13 minutes. Her opponent has 20. And they're on move 28. Dina has plenty of time. Knight G3 is good. Queen E3 is good. Rook E8 is good. I would assume Rook C2 is good. The engine doesn't give Rook C2, but that seems logical from Rook C8. D4 looks logical to me also, to play D3 or Knight E3. D3 you can't play because of the queen, but it means the queen can't take on A7. So every move looks good. King H7 looks good, making the king safe. It just doesn't matter. Black's winning. Black's 2 pawns up and better. And she stacks paper to the ceiling. She rides on 24-inch chrome. And she wears the Adidas jacket. Even Queen H2 wins, giving her opponent a heart attack. And while he's in the hospital, his flag falls. Dina has all of her IM norms. She just needs to get to 2,400 FIDE. Then she's an IM. He knows he's losing, and she knows she's winning. The truth hurts. Dina always plays Carol Khan against E4, correct. I'm not sure which Adidas jacket she's wearing, her own or one of the Botez sisters. Andrea's wearing the same jacket. Well, that's because Andrea lost her luggage, so she's just buying clothes in Prague. And by she losing her luggage, I meant Air France lost her luggage. Dina has 10 minutes, and her opponent has 20 minutes. And it's move 28. Alex won her game, and the chat says Andrea's losing. But Andrea's paired up 500 points, I was told. Let's see if there's any results from the... Let's see. Board 3 was a draw. Board 5 was an upset. Board 9 was a draw. On board 14, the guy who beat Dina in round 2 won his game against 2340. What board Dina's on? Dina's on board 18. Dina's thinking quite a long time on this move. When all moves win. Losing luggage is the new Botez gambit. So in order, the engine moves are Queen E3, Knight G3 check, Rook CE8. And they're both plus $1 billion. They're all three of them. Queen E3, Knight G3 check, Rook CE8. Those are the three best moves according to the engine. But other moves are just as good. They're plus 5. And those are like more than plus 5. It doesn't matter. Oh man, I've been pushing the tab key for years trying to get a tab. Darn. I ended up just getting a Coke Zero. It says Dina's playing 95.4 and her opponent's playing 85.9. She'll move when she feels like it. I'm not worried about her time anymore. That's because I'm not playing, so I don't have to worry about her time. I was worried about 7 moves ago, 8 moves ago. Now I'm less worried. Yay, Knight G3 check. One of the top moves. King G1. I think Queen E3 is the top move now. Queen E3, Rook, either Rook to E8. They're all the same. Completely winning, completely winning, completely winning. And Black's 2 pawns up for nothing and the Knight's pinned. They're all the same. Queen here, either Rook here, they're all winning the same. No difference. Can't tell if she's going to C2 or E8. Looks like C2. Yeah. Yeah, this is completely winning too. It says white should play Queen D3, then Rook takes A2, and Black's up 3 pawns again. Yeah, now the numbers are getting pretty high. You know, when your mouth's getting dry, you're pretty high. Yeah, this is pinned. Black has tremendous pressure here. White has no legal moves with anything. White can't move anything. Man, the truth hurts. Yeah, this is resignable now. I don't think he'll resign because she has so little time on her clock. If she had an hour on her clock, he might resign. Okay, he played F4. And every move wins. Rook F4, Queen E3, Queen E4. They all win the same. She's not going to play Rook F4. Well, unless she does, but I don't think she will. I think she'll play Queen E3. Queen E3, good engine says 7.64 for Black. Damn. Yeah, they both know the game is over. He's already has a resigned look on his face. God damn. Even if she wasn't up 2 pawns, she'd be winning. Look at her pieces. Yeah, White's position's embarrassing. I mean, you can't resign when it's move 30 and your opponent has 7 minutes left. You have to play on and hope that they make a mistake. Queen A5. It says he's playing 79.1 and she's playing 95.8. It says rook takes e2 is plus 42. Now it says rook takes e2 is forced mate, and knight takes e2 is forced mate. Yeah, he thinks he has a perpetual with queen h5, I guess. Yeah, she can play knight e2, rook e2, rook c1 check. And then if king h2, queen g3's mate. So rook takes e2 and knight takes e2. The engine announces checkmate. Also with king h7, the engine announces checkmate, which is very funny. So any move wins. Takes, not taking. I mean, knight takes e2 check, rook takes, rook c1 check. That's it. That game's over. Yeah, rook takes is also resigns. Engine not needed. Yeah, now rook f7, queen d8, king h7 resigns. Yeah, she'll play here, he'll check, she'll play here, and he'll resign. Or she can go there because her knight defends her pawn. I forgot about that. The engine says queen takes pawn is the best move. Yeah, the truth hurts. Yeah, he has to resign now. I'm not saying he will resign, but he has to. Another perfect game from Dina. Says she played 95.1, he played 79.1. Must have been the jacket. Dina's going to have 5.5 out of 8 after this game. Now, queen c1 check is immediate mate. I wonder if she'll find queen c1 check. She's thinking, so she sees it. Yep, she sees it because she's thinking. Queen c1 check resigns. Very nice. If she didn't see it, she would have played knight takes e2 immediately. Now she stared at her opponent for a second. Yeah, she played queen c1, but the engine stopped it on d2. Yeah. And now he'll resign. Beautiful finish. 95.3 to 78.8. God damn, his play was bad. Kramnik said he played too bad. That's how bad his play was. Kramnik's like, this is terrible. That was a great game from Dina. It was very complicated in the middle game, and she played great. Yay, Dina's too good. Go, Dina. Man, she's playing great the last few games. Back to her 2360 form, but better. All right, let me get the scene right and everything. Let's see, what do I have to do? I have to do this. Yay, Dina wins. Four wins, 3 draws, and a loss. Excellent tournament. And paired up several times. Yeah, we'll interview her. Yeah. Try old. Okay, I'll try the one from yesterday. Any. Try any. Okay. Yesterday. Where's the one from? Okay, this one. Let's see if this one works. Invalid meeting ID. Okay, I'll try another one. Let's try this one. Stop going so slow. Invalid. Okay, I'll try another one. I can try many IDs. Let's see. I'll try one of the older ones. Let's see if that's here. Okay, this is the oldest one. These are the only three that I have. Go, Dina. Oh, you said a new one? Okay. Although this one says I can join. This is the oldest one. This is the one that worked.
Oh, the oldest one worked?
The oldest one that I used like 5 days ago.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, any link should work. I don't know why, but okay. I'll fix this later.
All right, let me fix the board.
Curious. Yeah.
Oh, the board is fixed.
So, I heard you said nice things about me.
Well, yeah, you played perfect. I mean, you didn't play perfect, but perfect enough.
Yeah. I think I was surprised he didn't go for the end game. I think he had decent chances if he goes Queen C5.
Queen C5 was the best move, but I didn't think he would do that because then trading queens is sort of like giving up. He's trying to attack your king.
Yeah, but it wasn't clear to me. I was worried. Like Queen D6, Queen takes, Knight F4, and then everybody comes to E6. And honestly, I didn't like that at all. I don't know why. Like, I think he had chances there, but yeah, I can understand. He was like, he was tilted. So yeah.
Yeah, it says you're +2 after Queen C5, Queen D6, take, Knight E6, King F7, Knight 2 D4.
I think I thought Knight F4. Oh yeah, no, that's the same transposition. Yeah. So I wasn't like I thought. You know what? I thought Knight F4 instead of Knight E6. And then Rook E6. And what to do?
Rook E6.
Yeah.
It says Rook H6 wins. Triple pawns are three times as good.
Wait, Rook H6? I thought... Oh, yeah, well, I probably would do that. This was one of my candidates.
Yeah, you have two passed pawns in the center. That's pretty good. Your two passed pawns in the center are pretty good.
Yeah, no, of course. I was so curious if taking on E5 was good or bad decision.
That was the only good move. That was the only good move.
What? Really?
Yeah. Otherwise, you're not better.
Oh my God, I'm so good, man.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
so
right.
strong.
Yeah, all your decisions were good.
I think I shouldn't. I had the easier way. Maybe I should I can C takes D5. Either I can swindle H3.
Yeah, H3 was the engine move after C takes D5.
It was my candidate, but I was worried.
And then E takes D5 was the second best, but it's good enough. But H3 is a little bit better. Yeah.
H3, Knight H4, maybe I thought.
No, then Queen G4 is crushing.
Oh,
it's crushing.
Shit.
Yeah.
And if he take, oh fuck, I wanted to play H3. Man, I'm disappointed.
You should
I
be
just thought that-
disappointed. Winning easily, terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
I mean,
played like 95.9 or something. And
Yeah.
he played so bad the last 15 moves, he went from playing 92 to 78.
Wow. No, I just hate that Queen E5 is the only move. Like,
Yeah.
it's like it means that I had an easier way.
The engine
Maybe
wanted
I
you
don't
to
know.
play Queen D7 here, by the way. But Queen F4 is fine.
Oh.
Queen F4 is fine.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, that's the only
Also,
good
maybe
move.
I should take on C4. Maybe taking on C4 and knight G5 is easy advantage.
No, G takes H4 was the only good move.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was. You kept playing the only good move. You did it like 6 times. That's
Well,
why
why
you won.
is that so?
Now you know what it's like when people play Carlsen. He plays the only good move every move, and they lose in 30 moves. That's what
Wait,
happened.
but why knight C4 is not giving advantage to white?
Knight C4 double question mark. No, I'm kidding. Let me go to the real engine, not the stupid one.
I'm surprised. I mean, I can understand that G takes H4.
No, actually, you're worse after Knight takes C4.
Oh
In
man.
fact, 2 moves give white the advantage. Queen B7 and Knight takes G5. Yeah, when the knight comes to
Yeah.
G5, that's annoying.
Hmm.
Yeah, it says Knight takes G5, the good engine.
Yeah.
Then it says you should take on
What
E5 again and allow Rook E1. Damn.
And if okay, and if I play H3 and then he does, let's say, D6 or
Wait, where?
something,
What position?
then my next move,
You talking about H3?
Well, like,
you talking about
Yeah.
H3 in the game?
yeah.
Okay.
Then it's like H3.
D6. It says.
I guess my next move is takes on G2 and
It says
Rook
that
H6.
it takes on G2 wins and Knight EG5 is good, but taking on G2 is better.
Yeah, and then Rook G6, right? King takes and Rook G6.
That would be cheating, but it's a good move. Do you mean Knight G6?
No, Rook G6. No, sorry, Rook H6.
Rook H6. It doesn't give that. It says Knight BD5 and Knight ED5. Rook H6 isn't your knight hanging? No, it says Queen E4 is about equal.
Oh,
that
yeah.
defends his
So this
knight.
position wasn't clear to me.
Right.
I was looking at this. I wasn't sure like what's going on, and I was like, should I give him?
No, E
like,
takes
this
D5 is
consequence?
very sensible. Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought that this was easier practically.
No, I knew it was a mess. The engine liked your position, but any bad move and you could lose.
No, but I mean, I think here's like I'm winning on material, I'm winning strategically, and I'm winning tactically because like I'm the one who's attacking.
Yeah, but your king's on E8, so you got to be careful.
Yeah, no, I think his king is under more danger here.
Yeah, so here's what
After
happened.
I take on
Let
H4.
me explain earlier in the game. Bishop C5 is a mistake, and then after you played that, he played all bad moves. So that worked out really
wow.
good.
Because he was
but-
out of the prep. That was the first time he
Right,
started
Bishop
thinking.
E7 and Knight D7 are the book moves. And in
Oh.
fact,
Is E6 correct or is
it
it knight
seems like
D7
F6
instead of
is
D6?
better, but E6 is more popular.
Oh.
But there's a guy from Germany, Svane, Svein or Svane.
yeah.
He's had black in this position 3 times, and he's 3-0 with F6.
Wow. Wow. Never play F6. I thought
right.
about you during the game.
And when you played F6, it was the best move. And then
Yay!
here, every move he played was bad the rest of the game. So you were winning
Whoa.
like 10 moves later. Yeah, he should play Queen B3, or he should take and play Queen B3.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Knight C3
And I take
too
with an
slow.
e-pawn, right?
What's that?
I take with an e-pawn.
Yes, you take with the E-pawn. Then Queen B3 is bad. Then here, Queen A4 is terrible. There's a very tricky move. Bishop takes E7. That's the best
king
move.
takes.
What's that?
King takes.
King takes is forced. Bishop takes loses to pawn takes and knight takes.
Yeah,
on G5.
I agree.
Right. And it still says he should sack a piece.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is very interesting. Now,
Knight-
he can play B4. And the idea is
Oh,
if you
shit.
take it, there's knight d4.
Well, I gotta go queen e6, no? Or no, something.
Yeah, the best move is rook h to d8. And then this position is
Oh.
better for black.
No, yeah, but this looks great. This looks
Right. I told him this looks great for
amazing.
black. Yeah.
Yeah. No, this looks awesome.
But that's what he should do. After here, you
Yeah.
played f6 was best, b4's bad.
Whoa, wait. So here was for me was a critical moment.
Yeah.
And I didn't see a f6 at first. I was looking at, I had few candidates.
Mhm.
I had d takes c4, d4.
Mhm.
I had like knight d7 and a5. And at some point, I almost played a5. But then
A5's not
wait a
bad.
second.
A5's second best move. That's not bad. Yeah, the
Yeah,
engine said
and then-
f6 was best, a5 second, dc4 third.
Yeah, so I didn't see f6 until a very long time, and then I
Mhm.
was almost played a5, and then like, wait a second, let's try to have one more look, and then I saw f6, and I'm like, whoa.
Exactly.
This is just, crushing.
Always
I thought like
play
after
f6.
f6, I'm already
Yeah.
winning.
Well, you're not winning. Here he blundered. He blundered almost every move. He should play bishop
Oh, God.
e3. That's his only move.
Bishop e- No, but it's unfindable.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to play
No.
bishop e3. That's,
No one wants to play that. I
right.
can
Everybody
do
wants to play
whatever.
b4.
I can even castle. Like, I can really do whatever.
The best move is to take or play knight d7. Castles is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it says
here I
knight
have
d7 takes
20
and castles, but it doesn't say you're winning. But knight d7 it says is the best.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're safe now. You're pawn up and you're safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, knight d7 was forced. I'm glad you found that.
No, but that was I was planning on doing that.
Yeah.
Here, Ben, I considered even here g takes h4 and h3. Like g takes h4, you take on b6, and I go h3.
Right, g takes h4 is actually the second best move, but it's not good.
He takes
And then
and h3,
H3
but he
here?
has knight h4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now you're losing. Because I always have knight e1.
Yeah, because he has knight e1. That's right.
Yeah.
I also considered g4, but then I thought that knight e7 is just the easiest. Like, no need to take the
Yeah,
risk.
knight d4 says you're losing.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm going to take
No,
on
that's what I
b6
thought.
next move.
Like, because I couldn't see, I thought like maybe I take on e5, but it seemed like it didn't seem right.
Yeah.
So yeah, knight e7.
Yeah, and taking on h4 was the best move.
Yeah.
Then here it wanted you to play h3, but your move's fine. And then here it thought
Yeah,
queen
no,
d7
yeah.
was a little bit better. And then,
Well, what
Yeah.
about queen g6?
no, that's bad. It didn't
I
like queen
thought
g6.
he just goes king h2.
It says he plays knight e2. Because he wants to play knight
And
f4.
if I do that after knight d4, I think it's just queen king h2.
Ah, queen g6 after knight d4.
Yeah, I think king h2 just.
Yeah,
and I don't see how
it still
to
says
attack.
knight e2 is a move. But, yeah,
No.
no, the way you played is much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, forcing him to play f3, good job.
Yeah, no, this I figure out that f3 is good for me because it's a weakening.
Yeah, and here...
And then I actually, my initial plan was to play queen e3, but then I noticed that he has the threat queen takes e7, and I don't see how to stop
and
it
knight
unless
f5,
like rook
yeah,
f8.
that's right.
But rook f8
Yeah, after
is
king
so
h1,
ugly.
it wants you to take on e5 again.
Oh yeah.
But the king's
So that's
better on
why
h1, so that helps him.
Yeah.
Because then queen takes d4 is not checked.
Yeah.
Yeah, then you had to find... Yeah, that's a mistake. He should actually play the other rook to e1.
Oh yeah, I know, because then he has rook d1 to protect the knight.
Right, his other rook can actually do something. Yeah.
Yeah, that was what I was expecting. Rook f e1, knight c4, and rook a d1.
Yeah, and then knight c4 was by far the best move. Maybe the only good move.
Yeah.
Yeah, now you're
No,
winning.
I think I can also play like maybe king d7, but knight c4 is so much stronger.
King d7, man. Harsh.
Yeah.
Yeah, play knight c4. You always like to play king d7.
Oh yeah. No, obviously, yeah. Yeah.
Now, I have bad news for you. You have to wake up early tomorrow.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the round's 11 o'clock your time, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's at 5 a.m. my time. Hooray!
Are you gonna be up?
Yeah, and maybe Karen too.
Yeah. You know what? I noticed, yeah, I was laughing inside because I felt like almost every move that I was making, he didn't expect because he was still, he wasn't noting the move. He was just looking at the position, kind of shocked many times. Like, and I was like, does he even see that I want to castle?
Yeah, we think his father is the Grandmaster with the same name.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured that out before the game.
Well, you're having a great tournament because you're playing well. That's good play.
I don't know, Ben. For me it's so hard to judge, but
Then let us judge.
yeah. I'll let you judge. I cannot judge. Like, for me it's so hard. I feel like it's just a matter of like circumstances. Like, sometimes my knowledge makes sense, sometimes it doesn't. It's just like, it depends on positions. Yeah.
No, this game you played great. You played a lot of like castles was best, knight e3 was best, and then here everything wins. Now it's just over. So now you just win the way you want to win. Knight g3 was best.
I really waited for Queen c1. I was so happy he let me play Queen c1.
I knew you saw it when you didn't move immediately. I knew you were looking at it. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to do it right away, but I was like, okay,
you gotta think,
need to be.
Also winning. Also in this position, if you play knight e2 check and he takes, then rook c1. It's the same idea.
Oh.
Because queen g3 is
yeah.
mate. Yeah. So knight takes. They're both winning. They're both mate. The engine's announcing mate here, with either move.
Yeah, true.
Also, you'll find this funny. The engine announces mate if you play king h8 here. It says mate.
Yeah.
So you're still mating if you make like a boring move.
Yes.
Hooray. Also, he would have resigned if you played rook f7, because when he checks you, you go here. That's the end of his checks. But it's better that you let him play rook takes rook so you could mate him.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, very good. I mean, almost a perfect game. And your opponent played 77. So you just really outplayed him. You made the position very complicated, and you handled it, and he couldn't. But you scared us because you were playing so slowly. We were scared.
Oh, really?
Your time trouble, you had 30 minutes less than him at some point. We were scared.
Aww.
So it moved 20. I was like, damn, Dina doesn't have a lot of time. Then it moved 28. I'm like, well, she's so winning, it doesn't matter now. Then I didn't care anymore.
Fine.
Yeah. Then I was like, whatever.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yay, go Dina. Every game better than the last. Then tomorrow you beat a Grandmaster and so forth. Just remember, hey, by the way, people were asking, is that Alex's jacket? The one you're wearing now.
Yes, that was... Andrea said I should wear it so that I can get my luck.
Yeah. Well, it worked out. And it matches the board, too. That's the best part.
How has Chad been behaving?
They behave very well.
Oh, really?
They always ask if you're my daughter, and I always tell them you're my granddaughter, and they go, okay. So...
That's the correct answer.
Yeah, they don't know.
Russian School of Chess rules again. Guys, Russian School of Chess is gonna be out soon, and you will be all able to learn it and join it. I just made an announcement. Stay tuned for more updates, but Russian School of Chess is a real thing, and I'm about to release it.
Good.
Yeah.
So I heard Andrea was going to lose, and Alex lost a long time ago.
Oh, no, they both lost?
Or I'm sorry, Alex won a long time ago. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Alex won a long time ago. But Andrea, her opponent had like mate in 3 like an hour ago. So.
Oh, yeah.
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 I guess Andrea lost or she's still playing. Yeah, Alex was winning on the board, and they say she won on time on move 30.
Yeah.
So the kid let his clock run out. Okay, and Andrea lost, so their games are over.
Okay. Well, big shout out to our YouTube chat. Once again, we're restreaming on YouTube Strong. I hope you guys liked it.
Several hundred people on YouTube. Very good. Yeah.
Nice. And after this, right after this stream, I'm gonna publish another recap that is almost ready. So don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube because this is where you're gonna see the recap. And today I'm gonna release the recap how I beat a Grandmaster. It's not gonna be like today's game, but it's gonna be my reaction. Oh wait, I didn't beat him. I drew, but for me it's the same. How I drew a Grandmaster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, just write beat and then cross it out and write drew.
Oh. Right. Okay, well, Ben, you have to catch on sleep because tomorrow's going to be hard.
Sleep like a Grandmaster. Yeah.
And yes, I'm going to Iceland.
Am I commentating on Iceland or something else? I forgot. Wait, what? What happened? We lost our player.
All right, I went to Alex's room.
Yes.
She goes to my room and
Sorry.
she goes, "Hello, Dina, let me in." I'm like, "Andrea, you know this is my room, right?"
And I was like, "Okay, we'll let you finish."
Sorry, Ben. They're sisters. Here.
Hi, Ben. Hope you're doing
Ben.
well.
Hey,
Hello.
hi, Botez.
Hello. Okay.
All right, Ben. Well, I shall release you before you.
Yeah, but who should we
before
raid?
anything bad
Who should I raid?
Let's see who's out there.
Let's
That's
see.
a good
We
question,
got,
Ben. You're learning.
Boy, who do we got?
You're learning how to become a professional streamer.
I am.
I think my sister is still live.
I've been
so we can
professional
go to my
streamer
sister.
forever. What?
Well, I think. Wait, Divina is there. Let's go to Divina.
Okay. Let's see. She's Simply, right? Yeah.
She's simple, yeah. She doesn't have any problem with us.
Let's see if I spelled everything right and I understood it. Yes. Okay, good luck tomorrow, and tell your sisters there that the round's much earlier tomorrow. People forget.
Okay, I'll make sure
Don't
to.
worry, I have scheduled shopping into my day after the round, so I will not forget.
All right, congrats to everybody. Go everybody. See you tomorrow, bright and early.
Go Ben.
We have
Thank you.
nothing to celebrate, but at least Dina's our champion.
Wait, and Alex won, right?
She did.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Okay, see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Ben.
Bye.